What's up, guys? If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Calvin. That was awkward. Today we're going to test Shane Miller's advice. I have my first Zwift race of the season. I need any edge that I can get, so I went and I looked up what the fastest bike is to race with on Zwift. So I found this video by Shane Miller Gp Lama. He said the Canyon Arrow Road is the fastest. If you don't know who Shane Miller Gp Lama is, he's basically a cyclist. He does like cycling tech reviews for trainers and stuff like that. This is his channel. Definitely recommend you check him out. He's like, I think he's the reason why I got the Wahoo. But I bought the Wahoo trainer years ago. Not sponsored, by the way. But enough talking. Let's get on the trainer, hop in the Zwift race. I got like 10 minutes to get to the start line and put his advice to the test. All right, so I'm gonna hop over to Zwift Power real quick. You can see there's my name in the field. And what I look for here is what are the names of the racers that I really need to look out for during this race, especially for their sprint power. So I check my 15-second power. You can see here Peter Volk, probably need to keep an eye on him, and then Sam Atkinson. These are the riders I want to watch out for as we get towards that end of the race, bell lap. One thing you always want to keep in mind when doing these Zwift races is the start is always going to be all out. Kind of like a cross race. I've never done a cross race, but if you've seen like Matthew Van Der Poel or Wout van Aert when they do them, the first start of the race is always full gas. It's no different in Zwift. It kind of helps too if you're in a time crunch like me. I didn't have a full warm-up. I think I warmed up for about 5 minutes. I usually try to get 20 minutes at least in to warm the legs up, but this definitely gets your legs moving early. And you can see here people are kind of scrambling for the front, and you really want to use this first lap to get a feel for the pace of the race. Generally for downtown Dauphin, when it's 14 laps like this one, people are pretty tame. But if you're near downtown Dauphin and it's 6 laps, it's going to be full gas the whole race. And this is the main hill. You can see my power is up to 450 plus. This has like 2 pitches to it. The first one goes straight up, and then there's a little straighten out in the middle where you can get a micro recovery, and then you're going to go ahead and push the power back up again. That's at least how I try to work through it in my mind. And then over the top of the hill, always watch for attacks. Again, when there's 14 laps, it'll be a little more tamer, but if you're racing one that has 8 laps, I think is what they usually do, keep an eye on that. And then we're just going to go through the rolling hills. Again, this is first lap, still hot, doing 450 watts, trying to stay with that pointy side of the race in the front, just in case the A split off. I want to make sure I'm there to cover any moves. Then when we hop over to mid-race, you can see it's kind of settled down a little bit. Power is down. Heart rate's still a little bit elevated, but that's because we just went over that hill, the downtown Dauphin hill. We're in the rolling hills again. What I like to do here is kind of sit mid to the front of the pack, because again, if somebody or a few riders want to sneak away, you're right there where the action is. But you also want to kind of stay mid-pack just to get that draft effect. And I'm pretty pleased with this bike so far. As I'm riding in this race, I can keep my power super low. You see, I'm down to 220s, and that's all recovery zone 2 power for me. 7 laps to go. That helps keeps my heart rate down, or allows my heart rate to have time to recover. So definitely try to stay mid to front pack. But as we go into this hill again, I just want to make sure I'm there towards the front. I ran out of power-ups too, so I'm really screwed. You can see other people who are using them this late in the race. It's huge benefit because I forget how much it drops your weight with the feather, but you're definitely at an advantage. So I'm really at 200 beats per minute. You can see just trying to stay with the bunch and really recovering on this backside after the climb, trying to use that aero benefit for this bike to recover, but I need to stay at the front just in case somebody rolls off the front, because you never know in the A field. It can happen where somebody just decides to put out a massive effort and they go off. So in the backside of this course through the hills, I got to just bite the bullet and stay at that pointy side of the race, and it's really hurting. All right, we got bell lap, 1K to go, and this is the last time up the climb. In one of my videos, I was doing my VO2 effort, and somebody mentioned in the comment section that the effort hurt because I came out the saddle. And I did that intentionally because of scenarios just like this. When you're in the last set of your workout, and for me, I'm doing my Trainerroad training camp, you want to really envision this situation that I'm in right here. I'm on the limit. I'm on the limit at 204 beats per minute. I don't have any more room in my max heart rate, but I'm in a race, so what am I going to do? Just stop pedaling? That's not an option. We are getting close to the finish line, half a K to go. I need to stay with the front end of this race. So that's what I like to think about when I'm doing my workouts, my VO2 workouts, is this specific scenario. So I don't want to overexert. I have not a lot of rope to play with, but I do need to stay towards the front, and I want to time my sprint as precise as possible. And I go ahead and launch right here with about 200 to go. Give it everything that I got, which is not much, especially on the trainer. And I'll let you guys know what place I end up finishing in after this post-race analysis. All right, guys, the race is over. That was hard. Let's go ahead and dive into the post-race analysis and see what type of effort that was. We're in Trainerroad now. Lewis is the workout that I had today. And as you can see, it's basically a race simulation, 5-lap workout. And that's kind of what led me to decide to do the Zwift race today. I thought that I could get a similar effort to what this is prescribing for me, and I think we were pretty close. My intensity factor, actually, let's look and see what that was for this race. So Lewis was 81, and you can see here we got intensity factor of 97.97, so almost 100% of my FTP for 40 minutes. So definitely exceeded what Trainerroad had prescribed for me. But let's go in and see where I finished, because Zwift tells you one thing, and then you go to Zwift Power, which if you don't have Zwift Power, basically what it is, it's like the race registration site. Keeps all your races logged, all your power data. If you want to learn more about it, I did a more in-depth analysis on that in my video where I compared Trainerroad versus Zwift. So definitely check that out if you haven't yet. On the Zwift app, I believe it said I was like 7th place or something, but you can see I got 6th place in the race. And as you guys saw in the footage, all the categories were combined. That makes it really difficult to see who you're actually racing alongside of. So if you're racing Cat A, definitely want to stay towards the pointy end of the race, and which I pretty much did the entire race. And we did 4.1, average of 295 watts. And you can see here what other riders did too. That's why I love this site. Sprinting in Zwift for me is different than in real life. My real life sprint is, I reach a much higher peak power than I do on Zwift. But even then, I can see here with my 15-second power in this race, it would not have been enough to finish or to beat Alessio or even Tim, just in terms of pure watt per kilogram. So I like to see that after, like, okay, if I moved up a couple closer to the end of the race, like in the pack, would have been able to podium. Doesn't look like it's likely. So I mean, at best, I might have been in the mix for top 4 or 5. We're gonna jump over to Zwift to see, just because I didn't win, we still wanna see if Shane GP Lama's suggestion was accurate. It's supposed to be the fastest bike to race with, so I'm gonna hop over to Zwift. All right, so Shane Miller said that this is the fastest bike in Zwift. I wasn't able to get the lightweight wheels, which he suggested. I'm not sure if you can still get those. If you know how to get the lightweight wheels, let me know, because I didn't see them in the shop. But I mean, just based on him saying it's the fastest bike, I do have multiple PRs. We can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got a jersey, 9. So I have 9 PRs, which is crazy, and didn't win. But I would say that GP Lama, Shane, you're spot on for me, because you didn't guarantee that I would win, but you said that it's the fastest bike to race with on Zwift, and I have 9 PRs, which means I went faster. So we're gonna end the video here. Thank you guys for watching. If you're not a part of subscriber community on this channel, please like and subscribe. Tell me which bike you guys like to race with on Zwift, especially for a course like this. Like, I like the courses that have a little punch to it, or maybe a shorter climb. What bikes do you guys race with? I want to try them out. And before I end the video, let's look real quick at my Zwift Power profile. You can see they have me at category B, which, if you've been following my journey, you know with the Zwift ramp test that I did, my FTP is above 4.0 watts per kilogram. So for me, even if it was borderline, let's say 3.9 or 4 even, I would still do an A race. I don't know why people do a B race if they have FTP that's above 4.0 or at 4.0. I think it's a detriment to yourself if you're racing B. So that's why I like to race A. Pushes me to the limit. That's where my FTP has me at. So definitely, if you're at 4.0 or above, race A. Shane, GP Lama, thank you for the recommendation. Everything you do. Hope you guys enjoy this video. I'll see you soon.